Hi folks, welcome to my channel, The Average Dermadoc. Let's begin the show. Laser light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. What is the difference between a laser light and a normal light? Laser light is mono, single, chroma means color. Here if it has a single color, it will have obviously a single wavelength. If not, it will have a narrowest band of wavelength. That's it. Whereas normal light will have multiple chroma means multicolored, which means obviously it will have a broad band of wavelength and multiple wavelengths. Laser light is coherent. What is meant by coherence? It is laser light is in phase, in space and time, and is synchronous. Here you can clearly see if one laser light wave is in peak, all other are also in peak, which means they are in sync with each other, and at the same time, at same space, they are in same peak and then trough and then peak. Like this, they are in sync with each other. This exhibits, because of this, it exhibits minimum divergence and travels longer without loss of much intensity. Even if diameter, that is distance, increases, its intensity won't reduce and it won't get diverged. Here you can see in normal light, it is not having any coherence. It is incoherent. If one light is in peak, another may be in trough, like that, it is not in coherence. And it is divergent. Means as the distance increases, the intensity decreases and it will diverge more. Here you can see clearly the divergence. What is meant by divergence? It is the movement or moving away from a common point. This is the source of light. This normal light is moving away from the common point of source. So if we increase the distance, divergence increases, intensity decreases. So one last property is collimated. Laser light property is collimated, which means it runs parallel. Two waves will run parallel to each other and will never meet at any point, which allows dense packing of energy into a relatively small volume of light. Hence, if even with increase in distance, diameter of the laser beam won't increase. Here you can see clearly, even if distance is increasing, the diameter of the laser beam is not increasing. It is maintaining as it is because of this collimation, coherence, monochromaticity. In childhood, everyone must have played with laser light. If we throw that light on nearest wall, that diameter will be same. If we show it on the farthest building also, that diameter of the laser beam will be light, and that intensity also will be same without much loss of intensity. Same if we do with normal light. If we throw to the nearest wall, diameter will be okay to see and we can see it. If we throw it to the farthest building, intensity will be lost because of this divergence and we can't even appreciate the normal light onto a farthest building. Whereas laser light, we can see clearly with same intensity and same diameter onto the farthest building also, because of these properties of coherent, collimated and monochromaticity. That is nothing but single wavelength. What is a wavelength? It is measured in nanometers. Wherever you see the word nanometer, it is representing wavelength. That is nothing but distance between two peaks of a laser light wave. It is therapeutically important. Why? This single wavelength, specific single wavelength, allows for selective absorption by specific chromophore, which we will target and destroy. If in a tattoo, it is ink particle is selected as a chromophore and we will destroy that and we will remove tattoo. What does Groth-Draper law says? For any laser to function properly, first it has to get absorbed by that selected target. That is nothing but Groth's law. To get absorbed, laser light has to go through the substance of target. Groth's Draper law. Next, wavelength only decides the depth of penetration. This depth of penetration is also decided by the properties of the particles in the medium, which is nothing but Beer-Lambert law. Depth of penetration of a laser light will be decided by the properties of the particles in that medium. Nothing but Beer-Lambert's law. Two laws. One is first laser has to get absorbed, then only it will function. Groth's Draper law. Second law, Beer-Lambert law. The penetration will be influenced by properties of the particles in that medium. Coming to laser parameters, which are of paramount importance for a successful treatment. What are those? First, power, measured in watts. Wherever you see the word watts, it is representing power. It is the rate of energy emitted. We will have a laser machine, it will have certain power. That is nothing but the rate of energy emitted. Rate means representing time. Rate of energy emitted per unit time, which is nothing but second. Measurement of energy is joules. Here, what is power? Nothing but watts. What is 1 watt? It is equal to 1 joule per second. Everyone must have heard about 100 watts bulb, 200 watts bulb. Nothing but it is representing the power of that bulb. If a bulb has a power of 100 watts, it means it has capability to emit 100 joules per second. If it is 200 watts bulb, 200 joules per second. Nothing but power of that bulb. Now the power of the laser is measured in watts. Clear? Next, fluence. We got laser, it has certain power. That energy has to be delivered onto the body. Nothing but fluence, which means energy delivered per unit area. If energy is per time, it is power. Per unit area of our body, it is fluence. It is measured in joules per centimeter square. I already told energy is measured in joules. Wherever you see the word energy delivery, it is fluence. Pulse width, time between start and end of a laser pulse. What do you mean by pulse? Pulse is nothing but a brief burst of laser light, not continuous. Laser light will deliver light in short pulses, not continuous. Also known as pulse duration, pulse length. If we hear the word duration, pulse width, it is representing time. That is in milliseconds, which is 1,000th part of a second, 10 to the power of minus 3. If we cut the second, 1,000 parts, just one part is nothing but millisecond. Microsecond is 1 millionth part of a second, 10 to the power of minus 6. Nanosecond, 1 billionth part, 10 to the power of minus 9. Picosecond, 1 trillionth part of a second, that is 10 to the power of minus 12. Based on this, picosecond laser is most precise. P for pico, most precise, and will generate less heat. Coming to frequency, number of pulses per second. It is measured in hertzes. 1 hertz equal to 1 pulse per second. We can select the frequency in a laser. Why? Because we have the laser has the capacity to emit pulses in just nanoseconds. 1 second will have 1 billion of nanoseconds. That means in a second we can generate 1 billion of pulses. But lasers will emit light not continuously, intermittently in pulses. So if we second 10 as frequency, that is 10 pulses per second, in that entire second, even it has capability to generate 1 billion pulses, it will give only 10 pulses. That is nothing but repetition of pulses. If we keep more frequency, we can move our hand very fast and cover the area by reducing treatment time. That is the use of frequency. We ourselves can set number of pulses per second. Coming to spot size, measured in millimeters, nothing but diameter of the laser beam at the point of contact with skin. We can select the spot size. What is its important? Spot size and wavelength both are directly proportional to penetration of laser light and inversely proportional to energy. I already told you, wherever you see the word energy, it indicates fluency if it is delivered onto the body. If it is coming out of the laser, it is power. We'll see a scenario where we have kept more energy delivery per unit area, that is fluency is more. Then it is inversely proportional to penetration. It won't penetrate more superficially, it will damage more. There will be more damage to epidermis, more tissue splatter, more scattering of light. In another case scenario, we have kept more spot size and more wavelength. It is directly proportional to penetration. So depth of penetration will be more with less scattering, less damage to epidermis. Without damaging epidermis, it will go deep because depth of penetration is more and less tissue splatter. Here tissue splatter means we are using laser light and burning out the target. That burnt out tissues are in laser tattoo removal. That burnt out ink particles will form smoke. That smoke will be having ultrafine particles, toxic chemicals, sometimes dead and live bacteria, viruses. It is potentially hazardous for us. If we inhale, it will enter directly to the lung. Because they are ultra fine, we can't filter it out. So wearing high filtration masks and having smoke evacuators is very important in laser room. These are all will happen only if we keep high fluence, that is if we deliver high energy per unit area, it will damage more and will cause more tissue splatter, which is potentially hazardous. At last, hence, if we select a large spot size, it will have more depth of penetration, it will avoid epidermis and will enter the dermis. So for dermal lesions like tattoos, we'll select large spot size. What is Q switching? Q means quality factor, nothing but controls storage and release of energy. It will store the energy in the form of Pockels cell and releases it in short intervals of time, that is nothing but nanoseconds. Wherever you see Q switched laser, it means it is emitting high energy, megawatts of energy, pulses in short interval of time, that is nothing but nanoseconds. If it is a picosecond laser, it will emit that pulse in just in a picosecond. Remember the channel name. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you. Hasta la vista. До свидания.